Welcome back to the Teaching with Balance video series, where we're talking about how you can get it all done without letting it take over your life. In the first video, we talked about why you just simply cannot afford to let teaching take over your life. And in the second video, we gave 5 specific ways that you can start cutting time this week. If you haven't checked those out, I'd encourage you to check those out first and then come back and join us. In this third and final video, we're going to talk about how to finally find balance with the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek Club. You know, so many of you have emailed me or left comments and said that you're desperate to find balance, that teaching is taking over your life, that you're stressed and overwhelmed and not sure how to change things. You know, up until now, whenever I got those emails, I didn't have a lot that I could say to you. I've written a few articles about how to save time and find balance, but other than that, I didn't have a real, lasting solution that I was confident was really going to help you see the results that you need in your life. But I'm so excited that I'm finally able to recommend an incredible resource by my friend Angela Watson. If you're not familiar with Angela is the writer of the Cornerstone for Teachers website, and she's also authored some amazing books, including Awakened and Unshakable. She's also a Christian and comes from a biblical perspective, which I know is important to many of you. When Angela first shared with me that she was going to be creating this club, I have to tell you, I was so excited. As I said, I'd been wanting to share something with the audience, and I'd thought a little bit about maybe actually at that point I hadn't even thought about creating something, but I wished there was something I could share or create or something. And when she said that she was going to be creating this club called the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek, like I said, I was ecstatic. I knew that this is the solution that so many of you guys have been looking for and asking for. So when she opened the club, I immediately asked if I could be part of it and check it out. And it's been really cool to see. There's a Facebook group that's part of the club, and all the time I'll see updates from teachers that are saying this is really making a difference in their life. They're really seeing some amazing results. Let me share with you a couple comments from teachers that are in the club that are just sharing. These are just regular teachers like you that joined the club because they knew that something had to change. And here's some of the things that they're saying. One teacher said, "My team members commented that I was ahead, and our team leader, whom I much admire, looked around the work posted in my classroom and asked, 'How did you have time to get all this done?' It was surreal, and I had to almost pinch myself to make sure I wasn't just fantasizing all this. I know this was a moment and things will probably continue to be overwhelming, but I did experience a moment of triumph. I am so grateful for this group." Another teacher says, "Thanks to you, this is the first year in 30 years of teaching that I didn't bring work home on Thanksgiving break. I'm so thankful." You know, one of the coolest parts of the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek Club is that there is a community and ongoing support. You know, books are amazing, but it's all in one place and you read it and then you're kind of done. Same thing with a course. It's almost can be sometimes overload, especially when you're already overwhelmed. There's so much to go through. But this is different because Angela gives you a new strategy every week. And then there's the Facebook group where you can ask questions and see how other teachers are implementing those tips to help keep you engaged and focused and motivated to keep making those small changes that add up to big results. You know, I could keep telling you about the community, but I think what's going to be more effective is if I actually show you a little bit about it. So let me take you inside the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek and give you an inside look at what it looks like to actually be a member. And what I want to do today is give you a peek inside the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek so that you can see what it's actually like to be a member of the club and get a better idea of exactly how it can help you. So the first thing we're going to do is, we'll see if you're on the sales page here and you go to member login. Once you sign up, if you go to member login, it's going to open up this dashboard. And of course, you'll have to sign in first. But you'll be right here and you'll have all kinds of access to these great resources. Now mine says the October 2015 cohort. because that's when I joined. But when you join, it'll say whatever group that you're currently part of. When you first join, there's a couple things you'll want to check out right away. One is the Getting Started page. And so right away, you'll have this quick 5-minute tour from Angela that will show you all around the club, make sure you know how to log in, show you where to find your resources, and even she has a help desk and help with the community. So just kind of giving you a tour so you can get quickly acclimated and know where you are. You can even add the club to your mobile device as a separate home screen so you can easily access it. And she gives some details about how to listen to the club's audio, which I'll tell you more about later. She also, right away, if you are on Facebook, as soon as you join, the program, you can apply to join the Facebook communities. And I wanted to show you the Facebook communities, but it is a private group, so I don't want to show that on the internet. So, but the Facebook groups are wonderful. That's a place where you can go and share encouragement, ask specific advice, and it's a really great place to kind of get more specific advice for your situation. So you might take a principle Angela said and say, how are you applying this in your classroom? And so it's a great place, like I said, to ask questions, get more ideas in just a more informal setting. So you'll definitely want to check out Get Started. Then right away when you join, you get some awesome bonuses. So as soon as you join, you have access to these. The first is the Big 5 Tips for Teacher Productivity. These are the 5 key principles that guide everything in the 40-hour teacher work week. And so you'll get that right away, and you can read through that, and already you're going to notice a difference as you start applying those principles. The second bonus that you can use right away is the 40-hour teacher workweek list making system. And this system is awesome. It's a great way for teachers to prioritize what needs to get done, what's for later, and it's a wonderful system that won't add to your workload. It'll really help streamline it, and you get that right away when you join. And then here, Angela's been doing a free training. So if you missed that, though, if you didn't catch that, she has a special version just for club members that's available right away that will help you trim an hour or more off your work week immediately. So these are all things you get as bonuses before the club actually even starts. So right away, you're going to see a difference immediately upon joining. After that, you get new material each week, and each month focuses on a different topic. The goal of the club is not to overwhelm you, right? You're here because you have a lot to do, too much to do, in fact. And so the goal is not to add more to your plate. The point of the club is to make things easier. And so Angela does such a wonderful job of doing that, first of all, by breaking up the topics into monthly categories so that we're able to focus on one at a time. Now you'll see mine starts with October because that's when I joined, but yours will start right here in January if you're joining in January, or if you join in the summer, it will start in July. So let's take a look at what a typical week or a typical month looks like. So here's the January info. Here we've got 4 different main lessons and then some bonus printables. And it's nice. You can there's a blueprint for the month. And so we can simply take a look right here and at a glance see what we're doing this month. And you can see there's 4 separate lessons. One of the things I love about this club, and this is something you really need to understand when you join. This program is not about doing everything, okay? Like when you take a college course or some other online courses, your goal is to do every single assignment. This is not a bunch of assignments for you to complete. No, instead, you should be simply picking out 1 or 2 ideas each week that will work for you. The goal is not to do everything. What Angela's going to do is she's going to give you so many ideas but you're not supposed to implement all of them. Instead, you're supposed to pick, okay, this one and this one will work for my classroom. And that's why this club is so adaptable. It's designed for K through 12 general education teachers in the US, but no matter where you teach or what you teach, Angela gives so many ideas that there's always at least one or two you can implement each week. So it's really nice, all of that to say, look at this right here, she has this each month. If you only do one thing this month, so let's say it's a busy month, you're overwhelmed, you don't even really having time, to get to the club like you want to. If you just did this one thing, you're going to see big results. So let's see. Here's an example. This is under grading and assessment. So she says, if you only do one thing this month, start formally grading only the number of assignments you're required to. Use formative assessments from week 4 to help you gauge student progress instead. The week 2 material will help you figure out what to do with the assignments you don't grade. So it's simple, to the point. So if for some reason you don't have time to go through all the material that month, you can focus just on that one thing. I love that feature. And she comes down here and says, you're right on track if you're doing these things. So that is the monthly overview. So you get that at the beginning of the month. Then let's take a look at the first week's lesson. So each Saturday you get the new lesson. And see, the first week is about strategies to simplify assessment, which we could all use a little bit of help with for sure. And the wonderful thing about this is she gives you 2 different options for how you learn the content. Some people love to sit down with the PDF or on their computer or on their mobile device and look at it that way. Some people love to grab a cup of coffee and to read through on Saturday, take 20 minutes on Saturday morning and read through. So if that sounds like you'd love to sit down with your cup of coffee, then you're going to be taking a look at something like this. And so this is the first one, week 1. And so you've got specific goals here, and Angela goes through each one in detail. It's not super long. This one's about 8 pages, but it gives plenty of detail, plenty of practical ideas of how to do it. And then, of course, the Facebook's there for any questions that you have. And so there it is. You can read through it and get so many great ideas. I won't go through too many of them in the video because this is private club content, but you can see it's a lot of detail here, exactly how you're going to go, telling you exactly what to do and giving you lots of ideas. Now, some people love to sit down and read, but I'll be honest. Me, I don't have a lot of time to sit and read. That's more a luxury for me. So for me, I like to listen. And so that's why the club audio is fantastic. You can download it and put it on your mobile device, or you can listen straight from your computer. And as you do that, all right, so there's an example of Angela talking a little bit more on there. And this is right here. It's the entire PDF in audio form. And so you can stop and just listen. For me, listening while I'm cooking, listening while I'm cleaning, listening in the car. Those are great times for me. And so you can go ahead and have the PDF there for any pictures and things like that you need. But you can just simply listen to the audio. And that, for me, is tremendously helpful. So you get to choose what works for you. But once again, Angela's done everything humanly possible to make this not adding to your plate, but truly helping you get some ideas without it being overwhelming. A lot of weeks, not every week, but a lot of times there's printables and forms that go along with the content. So here's an example. This week has a quick skill assessment form, and this is an awesome form that's going to help you keep track of where your students are in a skill. And so Angela goes through and explains the form, tells you where to use it, how to use it, gives an example of what it looks like, and explains all the different parts of the form. And then she actually gives you some PDFs of the form that you can print and use in your classroom. So all of these wonderful forms can really save you so much time in your week and in the course of your day. That's just one lesson. Of course, we could keep going and take a look at the next lesson, which is about how to grade more in less time. And so this would be the next lesson that you would get the following week. And you can see once again, there's the audio. Here's the PDF. This one doesn't have any forms necessary, so that part is skipped. I know a lot of you, the main question that you're really having about the 40-hour teacher work week is simply, is it going to work for me? Is it going to help me save time? And bottom line is, if you engage with it, if you choose not to look at it as a to-do list, but to look at it as a support, a lifeline from which you can pick out 1 or 2 strategies a week, 1 or 2 strategies a month to implement, then we guarantee you are going to save time. So much so that Angela offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. She says that if you try the strategies and they're not working for you, then she will absolutely refund. You can send her an email, explain which strategies you used and why they didn't work, and she'll refund your money. It's right there on the page. Absolute money-back guarantee. If you don't start trimming 3, 5, or even 10 hours off your work week by the end of January. So that is a great promise. So there's no need to worry about whether or not it's going to work. And as you can see from us going through the material, these strategies are fantastic. They're amazing, and you're really going to learn so much from them. I am so excited to be sharing this with you, and I really hope that you'll seriously consider it. Before I go, I want to share with you a couple thoughts for those of you that are still not quite sure. Number one, in case you're worried that you're going to get in there and what if I don't like it, there is no risk because Angela offers a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. So if you get in the club and you decide for any reason that, you know what, this isn't what I thought it would be, it's just not helping me, you can ask for your money back, no problem. So there's absolutely no risk. So why wouldn't you try it? I think a lot of you will end up being so thankful and grateful that you did. And as I said, there's no risk if you end up not liking it. Second thing I wanted to talk with you about is I just wanted to kind of get real for a second and talk about that very real struggle to open up your wallet and get out your credit card and type in that info. I know that there's just something about that that's difficult. And you might even be thinking should I be paying money for this? Is this something that I should spend my money on? And I don't know your budget, so I can't presume to know what your financial situation is. But let me ask you this. If you could cut 5 hours off your work week, a completely realistic goal with the 40-hour Teacher Workweek Club, what would that be worth to you? Is it worth $10 an hour? Well, maybe not. How about $5 an hour? Would you pay $2 an hour? How about 50 cents an hour? Now, I don't know about you. $10 an hour, but 50 cents an hour? Oh, yes. Yes, please. Done, and done. I will pay 50 cents an hour for sure. That's all this costs. This club costs less than $2.50 a week, which comes out to 50 cents an hour if you can save 5 hours a week, which, as I said, is completely realistic goal. So let me ask you, would you pay 50 cents for an extra hour with your grandkids? Would you pay 50 cents to have an hour to enjoy with your spouse or with a friend at coffee? I don't know about you, but when you think about it that way, it really helps put it into perspective. Your time is worth a lot. And I think this club is a completely reasonable and worthwhile investment. I wouldn't be sharing it with you if I didn't honestly believe that this is so worth it to you, to at least check it out and see what you think. Before I go, I'm just going to share a couple more testimonials from the teachers that are in the club. One teacher says, "I love how Angela simplifies things. I'm so glad to feel like I'm on the path to a normal life and schedule. I'm getting closer. So not there yet, but I'm okay with that as long as I'm making progress and not stuck in the same rut I've been in for 13 years. Another teacher said, "I could tell my principal was impressed after my formative post-conference. Thanks to Angela, I was able to go into the conference with 2 picnic baskets of materials and all of the calmness and confidence that you have taught us along through this program. This course and group breathes new life and excitement into my veins. I left school this afternoon at 5 o'clock with a clean room, one small set of papers to grade, and everything ready for at least Monday and Tuesday. The best part? Not having to dread Sunday. Happy dance. I really hope to see you in the 40-Hour Teacher Workweek Club. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send me an email, and I'd love to help you get them answered. So if you're interested or you're ready to enroll, click the button below to find out more or to join today. I hope to see you there, and I would just really want to see you guys in a few months looking back at this decision and saying, I'm so glad I decided to enroll. Once you start seeing that progress, that balance in your life, and finally having time for the things that you care about.